pus. It's filled with dead cells. The body has to wall that area off. That little area becomes an area of inflammation, a pocket of what's called ischemia, which is a lack of oxygen and a lack of food, a little pocket of starvation. Can you guys picture this in your head? It really is important. As disgusting as it sounds, it's really important to picture what's going on inside our bodies when our bodies are breaking down. And there's not a single thing a doctor can do for it, but there's lots that we can do for it. The bottom line here, folks, is no matter what our health condition is, for some reason the body is under some kind of duress. It's under some kind of stress. When the body's under attack, it doesn't feel safe. It can't feel safe when its survival's at stake, and that's what the body thinks when it's under attack. Now, where do these attacks come from? Leaving aside the psychological and the mental dimensions and the spiritual dimensions, which are important, in large part, as you know, if you've listened to this program, in large part, the body gets the attack, at least the perceived attack that the body's under, comes in from food, comes in from the digestive system. This is so important, you guys, from a food perspective, which is the most important perspective. The most important thing we could do to keep our connective tissue healthy, to keep the matrix, the connective tissue, muscle tissue matrix strong and powerful, the single most important thing we can do, and I'm talking if you have COPD, I'm talking if you have autoimmune disease, I'm talking if you have accelerated aging, I'm talking if you have osteoporosis, I'm talking if you have pretty much any degenerative disease, the single most important thing you could do to reduce the stress and the duress on the body from a physical perspective is, the two most important things to do is to make sure you're oxygenating and make sure you're controlling foods, especially staying away from pro-inflammatory foods, foods that spark or somehow initiate a defensive response. That means sugar, that means restaurant foods, that means processed foods, and that means anything that you have a hard time digesting. If you have food allergies or food intolerances, that's going to compromise the integrity of the muscle connective tissue complex fast. If you have leaky gut and the blood is being assaulted with immune system triggers and chemicals that it doesn't know what to do with, eventually those poisons are going to get deposited in the connective tissue, muscle tissue complex, and that deposition of toxins is going to cause breakdown and it's going to cause pain. This is where this kind of generalized achiness comes from. Generalized ache and pains. Doctors will call it fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia means muscle pain. That's all it means. Pain in the muscle fibers. And nothing will initiate or cause fibromyalgia more quickly than the deposition of poisons and toxins that are coming in from the digestive tract. Fibromyalgia is nothing more than a Latin term that means painful muscle fibers, and it's a precursor of a marker of an accelerated breakdown of connective tissue and muscle tissue and accelerated aging. There's also the estrogen component to muscle and connective tissue toxicity. Fibromyalgia is basically a female disease, and the same, by the way, is true about autoimmunity. Way more women are dealing with autoimmune diseases, and way more women deal with fibromyalgia than men, and this is where estrogen comes in. If you're a regular listener of this program, you know that estrogen's relationship to disease, you won't be surprised by this connection between estrogen and the disease, the degenerative disease process. But if you're not a regular listener, if you just stumbled onto this program accidentally or you're listening to this on YouTube, you may not know. You may think that estrogen is just a female hormone. Well, let me be very clear here. Estrogen is much more than a female hormone. Estrogen is dangerous stuff. And it's not, it's not an important hormone. Obviously it is. It's used by the body, however, in the most infinitesimal amounts, and the different types of estrogen are tightly regulated and tightly controlled. So you got to be able to control estrogen. That means controlling the stress response and making sure that you're metabolizing fats. Fat metabolism is so important when it comes to this deposition of poisons. Fats are very hard to process by the body anyway, under ideal conditions. But if you had a gallbladder taken out, you got liver problems, and 30% of Americans are dealing with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. You've got to focus on fats and fat absorption. That means the ultimate enzymes after meals. That means using apple cider vinegar after meals. That means getting on the Biolumin Nightly Essence. The Biolumin Nightly Essence probiotics are not only have probiotics, not only have good bacteria for helping you process fats. It's one of the major benefits of good bacteria. They help you make fats and they help you process fats. Not only that, but the Biolumin Nightly Essence will also give you enzymes. Enzymes for cleaning up the blood. Enzymes for cleaning up cloggy blood, cloggy, sticky blood. In addition to avoiding dietary inflammatory foods and patching up the digestive tract, you want to make sure you're using glutamine and Z-radical and noni and bone soup. All of these are wonderful for building a healthy digestive tract lining and directly supporting the building of the digestive tract cells in the digestive tract. Protein is your best friend when it comes to building connective tissue, especially animal protein, whey and egg and meat, seafood, soy and hemp if you're a vegan. You're not going to get the same benefits from soy and hemp, however. You can do it, as I said before. If you're a vegan, you can do it. You can get the amino acids for building connective tissue and muscle tissue, but it's going to be much harder, and you got to be much more vigilant. You got to be much more careful if you're a vegetarian or a vegan that you're getting the amino acids for building the connective tissue and muscle tissue matrix. So you're going to stay away from inflammatory foods. You got to patch up the digestive tract. You got to use protein. You want to use coating and soothing substances like aloe and noni and the Z-radical. The Z-radical in particular is amazing. And don't forget vitamin C, which is like a switch that turns on the production of connective tissue. Zinc and vitamin A are also important. And we're talking here, folks, all connective tissue and muscle tissue building. We're talking building bone. We're talking building healthy, strong blood vessels. We're talking building healthy, strong lymphatic vessels. We're talking fighting wrinkles. We're talking improving heart health, as well as obviously improving the connective tissue in muscles, in tendons, in ligaments, in cartilage, and in vertebrae. If you're dealing with a health condition that affects any one of these connective tissue symptoms and you go to the doctor, more than likely you're going to end up with pain pills or anti-inflammatory pills or even worse, some kind of deadly poison like a beta blocker, a calcium channel blocker, or worst of all, Fosamax, so-called bisphosphonate drugs that shut down the body's ability to heal and remodel itself. If you're older, you might end up with an artificial knee or an artificial hip. You know how much money is made in artificial knees and artificial hips? They crank them out like in factory style. They have big hospital settings that are hospital setups that are designed just to replace knees and just to replace hips. They're usually owned by some corporation or one or two doctors, and they make $50,000 on a patient, and they've got 100 patients a month moving, 100 patients every couple of weeks moving in and out through these factories to replace knees, to replace hips. It's going to be a rare doctor who's going to focus on why bones and joints and muscles are breaking down. It's going to be a rare doctor who focuses on why connective tissue and muscle tissue are breaking down. It's going to be a rare doctor who suggests that you get on the Healthy Start Pack or you get enough of the raw materials and you're absorbing those raw materials that are required for building connective tissue and muscle tissue. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. Got so much more to say, and we'll take your phone calls when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Brightside. We'll be back right after this.
Did you know that organic sulfur can cleanse and defend your body against the poisons we're exposed to each day? Organic sulfur crystals from sulfurdefense.com help by forcing oxygen and nutrition into your cells while eliminating heavy metals, contaminants, and damaging radiation. Defend yourself and family from toxic assault with one of the most critical and essential minerals available today. Order online at sulfurdefense.com. That's sulfurdefense.com or call 800-593-6273.
I'm David Cordani, President and CEO of Cigna. We're proud to support the March of Dimes by walking in the March for Babies. It feels great to know that the money we raise funds life-saving research and programs that improve the health of babies. With your help, we can make this year better than ever. Join Cigna and our coworkers across the country in March for Babies to help more moms have full-term pregnancies and healthier babies. Start your team today at marchforbabies.org and march to help our babies. Thank you.
We live in a complicated society. Stressful issues are always popping up. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone? Have you ever been overcharged for a repair? Have you ever signed a contract or a document? Worried about identity theft? How many times have you been in those unique situations where you just wanted to call an attorney to find out if you're right or wrong, or what your legal rights are? But every time you think about calling an attorney, what do you think about first? That's right. Who do you call, and how much will it cost? Our friends at Legal Shield have found a solution. With a nationwide network of 6,900 attorneys who average over 19 years of experience, Legal Shield's law firms take over 40,000 calls per week helping their members. For less than $20 per month, you can have access to Legal Shield on everything from the trivial to the traumatic. Let Legal Shield stand up for your rights at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com. Or call 855-340-SAVE, 855-340-7283.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right. General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for under $30,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet under $30,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100 foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Take delivery in spring. 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
In the U.S., 1 in every 50 homes will have a break-in this year. Burglars call it smash and grab. Police call it robbery. We call it avoidable. We are Fake TV, a simple electronic device that can fool even professional burglars. Fake TV easily plugs into any outlet and simulates the changing colors of a television. To a burglar, it looks like someone must be home watching TV, so they'll likely move on to an easier target. At only $29.95, Fake TV costs less than a month of most alarm monitoring plans and comes with free shipping. Order your Fake TV by calling 877-5-FAKE-TV or go to faketv.com. That's 877-532-5388 or faketv.com. Fake TV, the burglar deterrent.
Great news, pure water lovers. BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com has a special discount offer for all GCN listeners. You can't do better than a Big Berkey for economy. For only 1.7 cents a gallon, a single set of filters can last for 5 to 10 years. There's none better than a Big Berkey for emergency preparedness as a backup water source. And you just can't beat a Big Berkey to remove dangerous chlorine, all types of fluoride, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, parasites, and unhealthy byproducts from municipal water. Berkey water filter systems are even powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. For the gold standard in water filters, get a Big Berkey at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. And all GCN listeners get 5% off all ceramic filter systems. For details, call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
Free from the shackles of corporate America, we're the place for independent thinkers. GCN.
All right, we're back on the bright side. We'll continue talking about the importance of protein on our next Brightside episode, the importance of dietary protein. Protein, everybody knows how important protein is, but still, you got people saying that it's overrated and you don't need a lot of protein and we get too much protein. I'm not convinced that that's the case, just from my personal experience and also the experience of my clients. It seems like most people feel better when they're getting more protein. Certainly you can lose weight by using more protein, and given the fact that connective tissue and muscle tissue are made up of protein in large part, it seems like it makes a lot more sense to make sure that you're getting enough protein than it is to focus on carbohydrates or even fats when it comes to the kinds of foods that we eat. Certainly staying away from pro-inflammatory foods, however. That's your most important strategy for building up connective tissue. We'll continue this discussion on our next Brightside episode, and we'll talk a little bit about weightlifting too, and how you can use weightlifting to build connective tissue. Then we're going to talk about hair. There's a very important relationship between hair and some of these building peptides that we've been talking about. If you've ever heard of the Brazilian blowout, we'll be talking about that in a couple of Brightside episodes. The Brazilian blowout is a hair treatment that a lot of women know about, and it employs, believe it or not, some of the amino acids that are important for building the body, building connective tissue. And I'll tell you what I mean when we continue this discussion on connective tissue and protein and peptides on the Brightside. Time to hit our phones at 855-660-4261. We do have a couple lines open for you if you want to try to squeeze in. Let's go out to Nevada and talk to Robert. What's up, Robert? Welcome to the Brightside.
Ben Bright, mighty